Right. I see the file. We are recording in Just Cause 3. It's originally provided by Square Enix for the review. Gonna be doing that. But I'm pretty sure I purchased the DLC myself because I really enjoyed the game.
I'm sending you coordinates. Come see me.
That's a... Hey, I got news I can talk about. Actually, quite a bit. Or at least quite a bit as far as there being... I'll just go in order of what I have. So at the top, I saw something. I didn't look closely at it. A little bit, though. A little bit. Somebody did an analysis looking at the Navi 31 dies. So that's what's in the current Radeon RX 7000 series. And basically was the guy spotted... I think technically they'd be vias. Maybe, I don't remember the term, but basically the posts that you would need there for potentially doing vertical stacking, like what you see with the X3D chip. But so that has made people question, oh, does that mean that we will see a variant eventually that is with the X3D, but with additional cache that way, or even just connecting in additional connecting in additional dies. Like, imagine if you could stack the memory control dies on top of the GPU die. That would be interesting. But one thing I do want to point out that I remember hearing, and maybe I'm wrong, my memory might be failing me on this, but I'm pretty sure I did hear somebody make a point after the 5800X3D came, and people were like analyzing the chips and also what AMD described. Pretty sure people were saying that actually if you go back to Zen 2, so the 3000 series, you could find the same stuff there. That Zen 2 was also designed, that is my memory, I could be wrong, was also designed to be able to support the 3D V cache. But AMD didn't deploy it yet. For whatever reason, maybe it wasn't ready, maybe they felt it wasn't necessary yet, who knows. So, to me, this discovery doesn't actually have to mean that we are going to see in this generation, or even the next generation. Hopefully not. But doesn't mean that we will have to see any vertical stacking applied. I could believe it's just AMD basically, once they figure out how we can design with these things in there, it just became an order, a rule for them, always do that for these things. We want to be ready to take advantage of this stuff in the future, get it in there now. Because they may find, hey, we do need to do some of the stacking stuff to really improve performance to better challenge NVIDIA. It's also, who knows, maybe we'll see Navi 32 and 33, so the smaller dies. What if they were to find that, hey, if we do the stacking here, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this would be possible, but imagine if you could stack 2 GPU dies. Like 2 of the Navi 32 dies, which I'm just assuming are going to be about half the size of what's on Navi 31. If you stack 2 on top, they perform not at the same level as Navi 31. Close to it, though. It should be. Though there would be thermal penalty. But still, if you were to do that, that would be a way then to increase performance without increasing costs as much. I mean, yes, it's now 1 GPU instead of, one graphics card instead of 2 you're selling. But if you could do that, that's still going to be a lower cost internally. You know, not what the consumers are paying, but what AMD is paying to TSMC, what AIB is paying to AMD. It would still be a lower cost than a full fat Navi 31 GPU die. So I could also see that being maybe something that could be worked on. That's why I could see it being a, hey, always make sure we got those things in there. Even if we're not going to use them, we want that potential there and we want the experience of putting them in. I'm sure there's going to be talking. The next thing I have to talk about, though, is the information. We finally got pricing and availability for the 7000X3D parts, but plus I can get a drink of water.
Ah, there you are. Come see. The Rebello's primary command and control base is protected by small, high-yield Bavarian warheads. devastating use of refined Bavarian.
Let me guess.
Exactly like before. Those pipes contain bundled power and fiber optic cables.
You think you would have learned after the last 2 times. This is going to be like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, probably not. Probably be.
All right, here's some pipe.
You know the drill. Follow pipes.
That was fun. I like doing the back and forth. Anyhow, yes. So,
Last FOW, Diva.
No more super weapons. Refreshing thought. But fight against the Rebellion and against Bavarian will continue.
yeah.
I'm ready for that.
Good. I'm on it. Hacking gate.
Guess I knew that would be locked.
Gate hacked.
And now. So, it is interesting how AMD is releasing. And by the way, I'm forgetting to try to find the MSRP for the non-X3D. They don't seem that far off the X3D from the. There's a guy over here. From what I can kind of sort of remember for the pricing of the currently available one, but that might just be, again, my memory failing me. But then I think I did also see somebody saying that it did look like some of the price drops that had been observed.
Full of white jackets.
That had been observed.
Bavarian researchers abusing knowledge for Di Ravello's weapons. I cannot be angry. Was once one of them.
But I did see somebody suggesting that the pricing suggests that the price decreases. The price drops that we've seen on some of the
Would be one step closer to eradicating all knowledge of Bavaria.
Yes.
that maybe those will be permanent. Or at least they're gonna become the norm, if not truly permanent. But yeah, so the 7900X3D and 7950X3D, so the 12-core and 16-core X3D parts. Can these things blow up? Come on. Are at 600 and 700? I mean, yeah, 599, 699.
We are now free to approach Falco Maximo and destroy knowledge of Bavaria.
You're almost there, Dima.
Yes, I am. Ah, as predicted. A quicker way out.
But also these two will be released February 28th. Will be available February 28th, so not too far off. And just as a quick reminder, these are both 2 CCD CPU design. But only one of them has the VCAP on it, which does make some sense because the Vcache will act, if nothing else, as an insulator. So it'll keep heat in the compute dies but it is also going to be producing heat. So these do, like the 1500X3D is it does actually have a lower max boost, lower boost frequency. I don't remember if the base frequency is actually lower. But by doing it this way, you'll have one CCD that, yes, tremendous cache, lower maximum speeds, but another that will be that can be free to boost as high as it can, because I'm not going to have that thermal issue. Okay, we're just.
Grenade out, get down!
I gotta blow these things up. So. Ooh. This is not gonna go well.
Target is taking damage.
Because I've not done anything for the anti-air in the area. And there certainly is gonna be some. But it'll also let me spot where it's coming from. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Ooh. Oh, yes! That actually worked. Ooh. Okay, came from over there. I see some now, I see some.
Here comes the capital.
I tried to get out, but yeah, everything went boom. Now I have seen some people complain about the whole, why is it that we're getting the the 12 core and 16 core parts in February, but the 8 core, the 700X3D, which is also priced at $449. I wanted to check. I was pretty sure it was $450, but I wanted to actually look.
Threat level reduced.
Why are we getting that in April? So more than a month late. Well, some people are trying to say that, oh, it's just AMD wanting to milk people. That's possible. But I could also believe they want to build up supply. I mean, you have to actually have these things be ready to be used. And I could just see it being that, yeah, they want to prioritize the well, each one of these will only use a single CCD with VCAP. So maybe they just figure that, and actually it does make some sense, that it would be cheaper. Well, it's more reliable to have one that you can pair with a normal CCD. Oh, hello. I could see that. Okay, come on. Come on, shut down. There we go. That I could see that if there are any weaknesses or concerns in it, in the Vcache die, that by having that other die available to you with some of the work, that would actually make a difference. Perfect. Yep, okay. But it could also just be that AMD wants to, hey, if you want the Vcache, if that's what you've been waiting for, well, now you can have it, but you gotta pay more. You're also gonna get potentially a better CPU, don't forget, but some people don't always want to think past that. Which is fair. I mean, if you don't need or want the 12-core or 16-core, it is disappointing if you don't want to wait and that's what you have to get. Crap.
Damn it.
Alright, well. Alright. Not entirely sure how I got picked up there, but it happened. You know what? Damn it. Alright. Mine now.
Gates up, target has attacked.
There we go. I see what it is. Can I get a shot through there? Yes, I can. The next thing I have to talk about is something I've been looking forward to a degree, though I will admit it was man, I wish I had some heads up, or just, I don't know how much I feel like doing it just now, but I will be doing it. Well, at least I want to. I don't know when I'll get started. That'll be today or tomorrow. Friday or Saturday. This comes out on Saturday, but I'm recording it Friday. Where? So annoying that this thing wouldn't be stable. Come on. There we go. There's actually one right around here somewhere. I think this works. Come on. So is there no base commander here, or did I just, already kill it? Alright, where's... I don't know what happened there. The Witcher 3. Should be specific on that one. There have been a few. It's finally gotten an actual version bump with the with its updates. So when when the next gen upgrade was released. Oh yeah, that's right. We got this thing. Yep. When the next gen update was released for The Witcher. So I have. If you watched, this is 17. If you watched 6.1, there were too many times that it's like, oh yeah, I'd kind of like to do that. I can't. Oh yeah, we got this guy talking.
Hello. Were you a big fan of the majestic Falco Maxime? The general was too, but the march of progress cannot be stopped. But enough about that. Did you know it was my mother's birthday today? If there were an insurgent force systematically destroying every military base, which of course there isn't, but maybe they would come and break me out of here. For the sake of my dear old mum. Viva Medici.
Well, actually, yeah, the thing's already damaged. No, that actually was a good guy who just kept being in my way. So I have stated, what the hell is going on? I've stated previously that I wanted to do a performance analysis in The Witcher 3, since we now have the next-gen upgrade to it. But there were several issues with this version 4.0 that was released. They did release a couple hotfixes, but I wasn't exactly comfortable with... What the heck? Okay. I don't know what killed... Can I try this again? Yeah, I wasn't exactly comfortable with that. I wanted to, like, wait until there was an actual version bump. Well, now there... because, like, yeah, I get the whole... You know, the hotfixes should be addressing stuff, but it's like, yeah, they're also considering so minor, these changes, that they're not bumping the version, so... And I do get the whole that seems silly, but it's not that unreasonable. That it's... You know, you do... The version numbers do have meaning to them, so when you don't see them change, that also has meaning. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to collect that data. The first thing I need to do, though, is the graphics quality analysis, which I'm... maybe the new drivers will address it. I'll have to use the capture card in my desktop to record the test system, which is fine. The problem is that when I've done it previously, and this didn't always happen, but it would do something weird to my GPU in the desktop, where it would like cause its VRAM, like there would be a VRAM memory, and the only way to fix it was to reset the computer. But it is true, that also was... the graphics driver has since updated for me, so that might have addressed it. I don't know, but the capture card hasn't really been working right for a long time. Like, its own software doesn't detect it, but OBS does. So, yeah, I don't really know, but that's what I have to do, because I can't capture on the test system when I'm doing the graphics quality analysis. Well, I could. No, I can't, because, I want to capture audio as well, and the mic is only on the desktop. So I'd have to somehow get the desktop audio there. I tried that, it's not the most reliable, so yeah, it's... No, I have to capture card. In theory, what I should do to address the capture card issue is just, like, actually physically uninstall it. Whoop.
Copy that.
Reinforcements inbound.
I have no idea why I was doing there. Anyhow, yeah, just like physically uninstall it, put it back in after like a reboot and like properly clearing stuff, and that potentially would actually take care of it.
This is dispatch. Sending ground reinforcements to your position. Additional support has been approved. Should reach your location shortly.
I'll take this. And something else that is also... I can do something with it soon. And what is it, 2 weeks from now? That's actually releasing? There's a Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition update that's coming. A free update. It does add various things, including one that's like should have been there in the beginning. That's a chapter select. I don't know if I'm going to be spending the time replaying the game. It wasn't a long game, so I could. But it's just I'd have to reinstall it. I've got the Witcher 3 performance analysis that isn't just going to be collecting the data. I'm also going to be doing some overhauling to the scripts at the same time, because I found a way that lets some of the processing be a lot faster. It's like that's going to be a larger process than just oh, hello. Than just collecting data and running it through things. They're always larger processes than that, actually. No, it's... I didn't think so, but I wanted to check anyway. So yeah, it's just... I can look at the Definitive Edition, including early. I just... For Shadow Warrior 3, I just don't know if I can... I definitely can't commit to it. And I didn't care much for the game, I'll be honest. So it's... not exactly a high personal priority either. Yeah, that was... I want to replay the original. Well, not the original, but the remake original. Shadow Warrior 2, I do remember having some enjoyment with, but it was kind of hampered by, like, hey, let's throw in this RPG stuff that really doesn't actually make sense or is entirely fitting for this game. He survives. It's not that surprising. This is a lightning gun. Why would it destroy stone effectively? This, however, should work. Yep, it did. There it is. See, one problem here is, and this has happened before, we're just not getting enemies to come in, and that's what you need to do to advance this. Although maybe, I don't know if this counts as wreaking havoc. No. Yeah, in Shadow Warrior 3, it did drop a lot of that RPG stuff. It kept stuff that, you know, does work, but it's like it wasn't that engaging to me. The story made no sense. But then it's also Shadow Warrior 2 ended in such a weird way to begin with that just not entirely sure how much they could do to have it make sense. There it is. Yeah. I think that was a failure to recommend. I'd have to actually look at the database. But, yeah. Alright, come on, we don't need much. There it is.
Well, you do the risks.
Oh, I thought one of them was over. Alright. So now I just need to find the signal jammer thing. Get that started.
Hostiles in the area. All units respond.
I am not...
This is dispatch. Request received. Reinforcements en route.
Last thing I have to talk about is the server article, which finally went live, yay! Yeah, I hope that people... Oh, no. That's something else, isn't it? Hang on. Can I... Yes, that's... I need to kill a specific guy. But I'm not sure if he's around. I might need to, like, leave and come back.
Engaging the target.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Doesn't really matter. Oh.
All units converge on the following coordinates.
I'm gonna fast travel and come back because that should actually, like, reset the world. But I can't fast travel.
Dispatch. Target is still at large. Find him. Understood. We are providing additional manpower at your location.
I don't think I have one of these. Wrong garage.
Units, find the rebel. Pursue aggressively.
I'm saying, why not grab a vehicle? Oh, they weren't shooting me.
Ready? For the shot.
Troop support inbound. Hang in there, ground team.
Taking him out. Open fire. Taking him out.
I don't know if I'll be able to get there or not.
Reward, rebel.
Probably not. Nope. Like I said, probably not.
Locate the rebel immediately. Do not let...
Alright. Let me see. In that server article, I covered not only the build, I covered the the installation of TrueNAS Scale, which did go well. And various applications installing on there. I prefer, if it's actually on a computer, that's an application. If it's on a phone, it's an app. That's what I try to discern between them. Yeah, let me see. I put on Gidia, which is basically a self-hosted GitHub. Yeah, self-hosted GitHub. I was trying to think, is there another word there? No, it doesn't.
Reports of violence in the area. All units converge. Initializing search protocol. Find the target as soon as possible.
Hopefully they will come. Well, the captain will.
All units on alert. Re-establish visual
I
contact.
actually haven't been using Gidia much, although I do have a couple things that in mind that I can use it with. One is editing a story, a book I've been writing. But I haven't finished the book yet, so I haven't started the editing. The other is my resume. And that actually should move over to do that stuff with soon.
Rebel activity reported. Get to the following coordinates immediately.
Nextcloud I put on there, and that I actually used for the example of installing an application, which, I mean, it's a fine application. Don't know how much I'll be using it, but I have looked a little bit more into one thing that may have me using it some. I've been using OneNote for years and enjoying it. But it would be nice if I could use something self-hosted. I don't need continuous web sync. And just syncing on my network would be fine. And Nextcloud does have a notes feed that there's also an application that, an app that you can get on Android that will, work directly with that.
We are sending ground.
Besides just the Nextcloud app itself.
Re-establish visual contact immediately.
So yeah, I am considering that. We'll have to do some additional experimentation with that. I only started looking at that yesterday, so that's not covered in the article.
We've lost visual contact. All units, fan out and search.
Yeah, I think I need to abandon this one for now. Oh, wait. There he is.
Come in. Is anybody left out there?
Perfect.
Contact. All units converge on these coordinates. ASAP.
Covered SyncThing,
Rebel immediately.
which is a file syncing application that you can, an app that you can use. So I've got my desktop and laptop both syncing stuff to the server, and that includes it's up to once a day backup various app data stuff, so that I can more easily rebuild things and some other stuff. I should also set up syncing of the OCC articles and such, but I'm not super concerned about that. I have that backing up with the desktop anyway. I don't think I need this. Especially because it's not that is not stuff I also want on the laptop. Some of those articles get kind of big with all the media.
By the sight of beret-wearing psicopates. Continue fighting, amigos.
And that actually SyncThing was probably the hardest to actually get working right, because it's just got some quirks, and I did try to cover them, like figuring out the NFS sharing, though that everything benefits from except for Gidia, but also why it wasn't finding the server. My laptop wasn't finding the server initially, but I figured that out. At least I figured something that would do it out.
abuse of power, protecting us
Normally I would wait on these, but
weaknesses.
the fact that I'm not being hunted yet and it was right there, it's like, yeah, let's just do that now. There we go. No. Yeah. This one. There we go. Alright. I don't know if we got around here I can blow up. For that. But yeah, and so the issue with sync thing, it just for whatever reason did not want to find the server from the laptop. But what I did, because the server is on a fixed IP, you can just tell it, hey, look at this IP, and that worked. I also did that on the desktop, though it's not clear. I never gave the desktop a chance to see if it would just quickly find it, but I have a feeling it would have been like the laptop not quickly found it. I did also finally, and did I mention it? I might have. Yes, I think I did mention in the article one folder that I was hesitant to start syncing the desktop because it's.
Report.
I mentioned story I'm working on, the folder that contains that and many others. Okay, I think all that's.
You
Oh,
sure
no.
you want to do this?
I think all that's left is actually in.
This is dispatch. Reinforcements have been sent to your position.
And it's just, the whole not wanting to risk overwriting stuff by having the desktop syncing in case it somehow decided to pull an old version off the laptop. But then I thought of something, and that would guarantee, well, at least would provide suitable protection from that. You can set and sync things send only, or receive only. So I set the desktop to send only on that folder, so that way the server and laptop. I was only concerned about getting one of them to be properly set up, because then you'd have two telling the third, "Hey, you're out of date." But I set it to do the send only there, so it's like, well, now the server has to have the latest version, so it can't have an issue with it being like, "Oh, hey, this is." Somehow a new version on the server, take that. It's like, nope, dealt with. Send, waited, and then, well, send only, waited, and then send and receive. Oh, wow. Right there.
Additional forces converging on your position.
There we go. And Jellyfin also. That was the last main application I put on there. Media server application that I've been actually quite happy with. Actually, I'm more happy with it than I thought I would be. Which I'll explain, but I want to wait in case there's any talking. Doesn't seem like it. So I was not expecting that I would use a media server that much. But I really have been enjoying making use of it. Not so much for the audio stuff, though. It's nice to have it there, but it's like, if I want to listen to my audio,
has been liberated.
You took a while.
Town is a victory against those DRM bastardos. The fight for freedom continues.
Although one thing that has also led me to discover is, why did I do that? Is that DVD and Blu-ray authoring is weird. So, because I have been taking some of the stuff in my library and putting it onto the server, I've been discovering that sometimes the episodes for a TV series, they're not on the disc in play order. So you might have like episode 1, episode 2, episode 5, episode 6, episode 3, episode 4, episode 7, episode 8. And it's like, why is it like this? So you actually need to look through the files. Like play them and make sure that they're right, and then you can rename them to whatever the heck you want so that it's properly tracked.
Reinforcements en route.
So that's been fun. Fortunately, I don't have too many TV shows put on there. I don't have many, so also not many. Did I pull it up? It doesn't look like. No, because it wasn't marked. Now it is.
Dispatch sending ground reinforcements.
All over here. There we go.
We've lost visual contact. All units, fan out and search.
This'll work. I know what I need to do. I'm trying to clear as much as I can first. I was not expecting that to happen, but I guess it makes sense what I was doing. But no, I have been enjoying, having put movies on there that I haven't watched for a while, would like to watch, and now I can just, kind of lay back, start it up, and not have to worry about moving discs around. Yeah, so I really am happy with how the server build has turned out, and it's gonna be something I'm gonna enjoy for a long time to come, I hope.
Stay out.
Especially since whenever I eventually build a new primary desktop, I'm gonna be doing something similar with what I got now because it's Threadripper. So I've got so much connectivity that I can take advantage of. Why wouldn't I take advantage of it by connecting a whole bunch of storage?
Now is a really good time to be a citizen of Agro, because Frico and the rebellion have freed the town from Mirabello's son. Libertate!
Oh wow, it survived. There we go. Yeah. Because I actually killed them with the thing.
Hostile contact. All units to these coordinates.
There we go.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Here we go.
Troop support inbound. Drag in their ground team. Additional support has been approved. It should reach your location shortly.
Should be fun.
I think this worked. Yes, it did. So. So I didn't need to go down and hit the button. I could just wrench the thing up. Oh, almost forgot. One thing concerning Jellyfin. Actually, a couple things. There's another thing I wanted to mention. I included some scripts that I've written in the article, and they're up on GitHub, for doing the video processing, like to take the 30 gig or so to some movies and make that not 30 gig. Where? There it is. I figured out how to do something.
Understood. We are providing
and have updated the scripts accordingly. There's
Dispatch.
what I figured out how to do was enable 2-pass encoding with X265. Which, you know, it's not a new thing, not at all. It's just I've never really had success doing it and never really bothered. But since this is less about, hey, let's just get it smaller, but let's try to get it as efficiently sized as possible, I decided to investigate and did manage to figure it out. So both of these scripts, the one that for a single track audio, for a single audio track, that is very easy to enable encoding. It's, you know, just comment out one line, uncomment another, and you're good. The multi-track audio, that's a bit more involved, but it's in the file, so you can do that if you want.
No longer welcome.
But something else, I saw that I saw a video just when I was on YouTube, and it's like, all right, normally I don't care about looking at his content, but I was curious to see what Linus Tech Tips was saying about his experience with Jellyfin. And there was at least one thing he got wrong in that, but
You live in Agronove and went into your basement for shelter. You can come out now. The town is free. Go out and breathe some fresh air.
it is a, you know, to be fair, he might just not have realized that that's what this feature does, kind of thing that he got wrong. Because he was comparing Jellyfin to Plex, that he said he's been using it for years, and it's just,
what's going on?
It's basically got these annoyances that he really is curious in seeing what alternatives there are that don't have these annoyances.
All units, we have reports of violence.
Which is a fine reason to look to new stuff. Anyway. Now he did basically say, Jellyfin isn't quite ready for him yet. Okay, that's fine. I mean, for my purposes, it's exactly what I want. But one thing that he used as a comparison was that it was easier with Plex to, if a piece of media wasn't identified, to select it and have it identified, to basically manually say, yes, it's this. And he said it was a lot easier because in Jellyfin you have to like find the IMDb database code and put that in it. It's like, yes, that is one way you can do it, but no, if you right-click, you do have an option of identify on media, and you can then type in, I think he was using Shrek as an example. You could then type in Shrek, search, and now it has a list of the different Shrek stuff, and you just need to say, yes, it's this one. So it would give him the exact thing that he was saying that he likes about Plex that wasn't in Jelly. So it's like, no, it is there. It is accessed differently. Well, I don't know if it's how different it is for Plex, but
Target is at large. Reestablish.
He was looking, the spot where you'd put in the database IDs is in the metadata, and I could understand that it was just a generically, this is a metadata issue, I looked to metadata to solve it. It's like, there is another thing. So I'm not, my point there is I'm not saying that as a, he got it wrong and he should know better, but he got it wrong, but it's understandable how, I can see the easy path for how he got that wrong. Sort of like how some typos that of mine or somebody else's, and it's like, yeah, you literally hit the key next to it. It's not a big deal. Not to say it shouldn't have been caught, but one way or the other. But it's like, I mean, there's way better things to spend your time worrying about than that. Like, is there another transformer thing up there I need to... Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Got it. Awesome. Okay. I don't think I can. Aha.
Bring everything you got.
But still, as, you know, just... I've not been using it for long, but, you know, as a Jellyfin user, it was neat to see it get that attention from him. Because I do know he's wildly popular. And hopefully that we'll see it get more attention, because open source projects, the more attention they get, the more likely it is to have, like, new developers step in, more money come in to help with it. Help with improving the product. Right now, I can't really think of anything, though, that from my uses for it that I would need to see change, that, or, you know, bugs, things like that. I guess one thing that I would like to see, but that's more of a documentation thing, and I'm trying to remember if I mentioned it in the article or not, but you can, like, identify multiple versions of something. So, like, actually yesterday, I was putting my Stargate DVDs. The movie, not the TV series. The TV series is already on. I was putting those on there. But it's like, I have both the theatrical and the director's cut. And because of how those are, I actually want them, like, recognized, yes, it's the same movie, but different cuts. How you need to identify that so that it's seen as the same movie but different version isn't difficult, but the documentation is like, yeah, you do it this way, and sort of a, okay, is it that way? Because it's like looking for certain keywords. Can it be generic words? I mean, it's like, it would be nice if the documentation were clear on that, or even better if you could control some of that yourself. So, like, in the documentation, it talks about the cinematic and the director's cut.
An elite response team is en route to you.
And personally, I prefer theatrical to cinematic. But it's like, can I put in that it's the theatrical and have it properly identified, and also be the default version? So I think I'm not sure if I, well, no, the director's cut of Stargate I would prefer. And, sorry, no, the theatrical cut I would prefer, not the director's cut. There are some other movies where it's like, no, I'd rather have the director's cut as... Anyway, it would be nice if that were an option, or just if you had clear documentation of, okay, are these all the words that can be used in this way? I need a drink. Man, it says there are 3 cameras. I mean, it is a large city, so I guess it makes sense.
You know what they say about guys who need big statues?
It'd also be nice if having the specific controls, because then you can set the order. So, like, one thing, and I have it that way for once. Don't. Oh, wait, no, that's.
Engaging the target. All units converge on the following coordinates.
No, I don't think I actually do that. You can have
Establish visual contact.
like a 1080p, a 720p, a 480p version already precedent formatted on the server if you want to. I don't mind it having to transcode. I don't need it like pre-transcoded to other resolution.
Why is no one responding?
So that's not a concern for me, but by properly putting it in there as the like, you can't do 720. If you did 480, 720, and 1080, it would actually put 480 first, because that's the lower number, and that's how things are sorted. But if you do 480p, 720p, 1080p, then it will show up with 1080p as the top. At the top, 720 in the middle, and 480 as the last one. And it's like, okay, what if I wanted... Well, actually, no, it does kind of imply that just once it sees a P, it knows to reverse or an I. And it's just, you know, having control over that list and sorting, I think would be absolutely reasonable and desirable by many. It is. Stargate isn't the only one that I have 2 versions of it on the system. I also have 2 versions of Inception on there, but that was in part because I didn't know which version I was getting when I was pulling things off the disc. Seriously, I didn't know, because there's both the normal movie, but there's on the Blu-ray a, what did they call it? Extraction mode. That's it, where that works by it there, like pulling. It actually, like, you know, will not exactly pause the movie, but puts it to the side.
What is the situation? Respond.
And then oh, it's right there. And then it's like, you know, then giving you other stuff, just you know, behind the scenes stuff as you're watching the movie. Sort of, not quite picture in picture, but is kind of like that. So I've also got that on there. The Lord of the Rings, since I now have the theatrical and the extended cuts of that, those I actually want separate, because it's,
all available units,
those are wildly different, at least in terms of length. I haven't watched them. I want to figure out some audio stuff first. And I also discovered something that's very disappointing for me. So, for whatever reason, the Fire Stick that I've got, the Amazon Fire Stick, even though it's set, I've seen some things saying that it should be able to play FLACs, it doesn't. Anytime I try playing any FLAC in my collection, even just ones that are... Okay, that would be just, you know, FLACs off of a... that you could make off of MP3, you know, 16-bit and 44.1 kilohertz. Doesn't play it. In theory, a Roku does have, like, some of the Roku devices do clearly state that they have FLAC support. Yeah, I discovered something when looking up some information on the Jellyfin app for Roku. So I can, with my phone, control the Jellyfin app on the Fire Stick. In fact, that's what I normally use. Instead of, you know, like, sorting through the library to find the movie I want to watch, I'll just, you know, pull it up on the phone and say, hey, watch this on the thing. Okay? Apparently, the Roku app doesn't support that yet. They want to. They're aware of the issue. But it sounded like, from what I've seen, the GitHub issue on it, that just the way Roku handles certain things, the way the operating system does, there we go. It just, you know, would require using a different system that they may not have the experience with, so they can't do it yet. But hey, maybe with, you know, this new attention, they'll have an easier time they'll be able to find somebody who can do it, or I think they've said, though, I think they said that the funding is typically used for their hosting stuff, not like paying developers. So that wouldn't be an option, fortunately. Just paying somebody who would know how to do it for them.
Contact. Units to these coordinates.
Whoa.
Better than that.
But, yeah. Hey, on the one hand, though, that does simplify things for me, because, like, hey, I don't need to buy that now. I don't need to buy a Roku to
Additional ground forces to
have this experience. I still want to try to get an HDMI audio extractor, though.
The General has expressed pleasure at our town's courage in the midst of insurgency. This Thursday, come hear the village.
Alright.
This is dispatch.
There's one nearby. Alright.
We are sending ground support to
A sanctuary. What is that? How long have I been going? Okay, past an hour already. Alright. I'm just gonna hang out up here for a bit. Let the heat die down. Then I'm gonna do... I'm just gonna finish off this city and then stop. But, yeah, I want to try to get an HDMI audio extractor, which...
Target has
escaped. One. So that I can run... Having the Fire Stick hooked up to the television is nice, but it means it is also limited to only stereo. I'd kind of like to enjoy the multi-channel for those files I have that are multi-channel. Especially since I spend all that time with figuring out how on FFmpeg to have it preserve the multi-channel audio. I talk about it in the article. Now, if I would have just like plugged the thing directly into the receiver, that would work fine. But my receiver, it's two HDMI 1.2 ports. I don't have the receiver hooked up to my television directly. And I had once... My Blu-ray player is only 1.3, which is fine. But so it's television, and I did once, years ago, after getting the Blu-ray player, try running through the receiver versus running directly to the television. And I did actually notice some image quality degradation going through the receiver. My Blu-ray player, though, it has a number of audio out options, so it's not like I needed to run it to the receiver anyway. But it's just Fire Stick only has one HDMI out. Well, one output on it, so an extractor that can also tell it, hey, give me the 5.1, and then pass the 5.1 to the receiver, that would be best. Instead of it having to go through. But I want to try to find one that'll actually satisfy my uses. And it's kind of tricky, because there's a lot of variation, and price differences. I have an idea of one or two that'll work. It's also, a lot of them are like, HDMI 1.4, so they don't support higher resolutions and frame rates, which I don't really need, but HDCP 2.2 is also something new. But it sounds like if you just turn things down, like, because it doesn't, some of them, it doesn't support HDCP 2.2. Okay, that's a problem, but if you don't try to run at 4K 60, it's fine. I don't have 4K television, I don't really care too much about 4K, so that wouldn't be a problem for me. But it's still, if I can get one that would support all that, I'd like. Alright, I think that's it. So, yeah, hour and 10 minutes about. Have to put up the news for today and get some other things started. As I said, I don't know when I will start working on The Witcher 3 performance analysis again. Because I'd already done some, but I do want to redo it. Try to get the video a bit better. because I'd already started doing some of the graphics file analysis and had so many issues trying to sort through that. But it is like, you know, getting some things figured out better from that. Also, at least the stability will be there. If the stability isn't there, I don't know. Because I did encounter, when I first did that, and that was at version 4 clean. That wasn't with any hot fixes yet. It crashed so much for me when I was like trying to go on and off with the ray tracing. So hopefully that is better now. It will also be interesting though, because there were certain things I did find. I don't know if I'll be able to find again, but just some spots where it's like the ray tracing didn't make sense. It was like you're trying to tell me that there's a shadow there. Well, no. I think what I specifically saw was a time where the shadow wasn't there with ray tracing, but it was there with screen space, and it was supposed to be there. There was some weird stuff like that. But I do remember just generically finding that, yeah, the ray tracing does help with some of this stuff, but it's also like, that now looks brighter than it should. Do I actually need these reflections? I mean, I'm sorry, I've yet to see, not that I've seen many, but I've yet to see a game that convinces me that ray tracing is actually necessary. That time may come, but hopefully that won't come until, you know, ray tracing is cheap and easy. Cheap, easy, and accessible for everyone kind of thing. Anyway, see you next time.